I'm 27 female, a teacher, and my principal, 40 male, asked me out. I feel very upset and I don't know what to do. I'm a middle school teacher. Last year, we got a new principal in our school who was very unpopular among the teachers. He had been very critical in all of his evaluations and shared some unkind words with our teachers when he has had a criticism. I, on the other hand, have received glowing evaluations as a teacher under every observation. I have yet to hear mean or harsh criticisms from him, and I even got a lot of new things from my classroom this year that no other teacher got. I'm really upset and feeling like shit now. I thought he appreciated me and had respect for me as a teacher. I really did. After school today, I went to his office to ask him about a semester exam for a particular student. After we discussed the student, he got up and shut the door and sat in the seat beside me. I got a pit in my stomach because I thought I was being disciplined for doing something wrong. He then said that he had heard me saying that I get together with friends on the weekends to play cards. He asked if I would ever like to get together, just the two of us, and play cards at his house. He was very clear he did not mean it as a date because he's my direct supervisor and that he meant it as just friends. Not sure I believe that. He just asked me not long ago if I was making another visit soon to the state where my ex boyfriend lives, and I told him that I wasn't with that guy I used to visit, so no. My face got really hot and I stammered that I would not be interested in dating, but maybe sometime because I was too nervous to say no with him sitting next to me. I've been really upset since I got home. I've been so stupid to actually think that I was a great teacher. I feel like it's all been a lie and I just want to curl up in a ball and cry. All of my glowing evaluations mean nothing. I plan to go into his office before school very early tomorrow and tell him that I thought about it and I'm not interested. And I think it would be a bad idea to spend time together under any circumstance. What is the best way to approach this, and how do I pick my self esteem back up? See, I hate that. Like, I hate when you think that, even if you just think that you're like friends with someone and that, like, oh, they like me as a person and they like hanging out with me as a friend, and then you find out that it was just like a ploy to try to get to you like in a more like a sexual manner. It's literally so annoying. But I feel like she should go. I don't know if do they have HR? Like they have something at like schools, right? Like she should go report him, honestly. She should report him because I feel like now that she's denying and rejecting him, he's going to be like upset, you know? Like he's going to have that like rejection feeling where he's going to be like, okay, well now I'm going to like cuss her out and tell her that she's a terrible teacher and I'm going to give her all terrible reviews and terrible evaluations. So I feel like that needs to be on record that he said that so that they can like see what happens after, because if things all of a sudden change and like now she's such a terrible teacher getting terrible reviews, I could see why that would be. Okay, there's an update 9 months later. One thing I noticed in the original post is that many replies said to contact HR immediately. Those comments were pretty out of touch with my actual small school system in a tiny community. The chain of command goes from principal, then directly to superintendent of schools. Also, that means that transferring to another school in the district would be out of the question. I thought comments telling me to leave or transfer were taking it a bit too far. I adore the school and I have more self respect than to just leave in an uncomfortable situation. I received so much encouragement from others in my original post. The next day after I wrote the post, I left very early for school. I arrived before any of the other teachers were there, only Mr. S in his office. I left a recorder in my pocket, legal in my state, and walked into his office to ask if I could speak with him. Briefly, with the recorder on, I told him I was very uncomfortable with being asked to spend time with you at your home alone. He simply said, okay, and I left. Pretty uneventful. But I was worried he would deny it happened when I reported him, so I wanted to make sure I had something on tape. In regards to this resolution, I gave a written statement to my superintendent of schools about the incident. The school system is tiny, about 600 students from P through 12, so they don't have an HR, and it's not unusual to go directly from principal to superintendent, no middleman. I won't go too much into the discussion, but we came into a mutual agreement that it towed the line. He agreed to my own suggestion that should come to him as soon as anything else happens. My main concern was that I would be treated differently after turning him down. And this actually did happen, which I will get into in a moment. However, I had an unexpected turn of events in January and ended up putting in my resignation late February. I applied for a position closer to my hometown and have now moved back home for personal, unrelated reasons and illness in the family. So I'm actually not in that school anymore, but I miss it very much and I do hope to go back someday. Once I had put in my resolution, nothing Mr. S did affected me anymore. He never made another pass at me and stopped talking to me completely. In fact, he stopped talking to me at all. It was like I didn't even exist. He began ignoring my discipline issues, and I didn't even care since I was leaving in May. After the 2 years of glowing reviews from him, at the end of the year, he tore me apart in my evaluation, despite having only been inside the classroom once that year. I didn't care at all. At the end of the year, the superintendent asked me to reconsider staying. He told me how much he admired the hard work I put into teaching, and he felt that they wouldn't find a quality foreign language teacher to replace me in that small of a district. I wanted to stay, but again, I was moving for personal reasons, and I couldn't. The goodbyes were very hard. And now the cherry on top. The superintendent had been quietly gathering reports and complaints about Mr. S's performances from all of the unhappy teachers. He met with him before the school year began to have meetings about changes and improvements that he really wanted to see happen. And Mr. S just quit on the spot, 5 days before the school year began for teachers. He really left the school high and dry. They have not found a replacement principal and are making it work with the superintendent doubling as his job and select staff members stepping in to cover other duties. So all in all, he is now the most hated man in the school district, and I don't have to be there among all the madness this year. The superintendent has also emailed me recently to let me know that I'm welcome to come back to that district at any time. Thanks for listening. Oh, yeah. Thank God. This is like a situation where it's like the bad guy loses. And I love a situation where the bad guy loses. But like I fear this is going to be his villain origin story or something, even though he already was the villain to begin with. But I feel like he's going to be even worse because he's going to be like that evil little rat in like the freaking superhero movies where he's just like so annoying because oh my god, a woman rejected him and now he like is just the worst person ever. I would love to know like what he's doing now. Where did he go? The top comment says closing the door is like a cop turning off their body cam. He knew it was entirely inappropriate. He was not interested in dating but just hanging out alone. Anyone else interpret that as he was DTF OP? NSA, of course. Gotta keep things professional. And then someone said, no, guys like this frame it as not a date so that if you push back on them for putting you in an inappropriate situation, they can hold their hands up and shout, not a date. I never proposed anything inappropriate. But if you take them at their word and agree to hang out as platonic friends because they're your boss and you don't want to offend them, and then they make a move, they can chastise you for leading them on. So real. All right, we're going to move on to the next. I hope this episode isn't like a mess because Willa has been like interrupting me every 5 seconds. So I'm going to have to edit everything out. And she's been like rubbing up against the microphone, which I know makes such annoying noises. So I hope I can cut all that out. But love you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.